Hello and welcome to the show. Before we begin, apologies, I still have a cold, just in case there's any sniffling and coughing in the recording. So just bear with me. I'm feeling a lot better, so I think in a few days, maybe about 3 or 4 days, hopefully, I should be back to my usual self and we should be able to have recordings without the sniffing and all the nasal sounds and all of that. So today, I'd like to look at staffing issues, which a couple of us face from time to time. Well, I don't have members of staff per se because I work with subcontractors. If there's anything that needs to be done in my business, I just contracted out to other parties. My video guy, he has a dedicated video crew, so he has staff on payroll that he has to pay every month. And then my friend, who was Laura Michael Smith, who was one of the folks who encouraged me to start this podcast, she also has staff on payroll. So there's some people in the business who have staff on payroll, and then there are others who prefer to contract out work or whenever things get too busy. But be that as it may, this is one problem that we all face. So we decided that we're going to get a subcontractor, or we're going to get permanent staff, contract staff, or whatever it is. And then eventually the time comes that we have to let someone go. Now, this is not the podcast episode to discuss what are the violations and what are the things, the unprofessional conduct that someone should be guilty of before you let them go. But this is just an earnest plea, if I can put it that way, that sometimes we should consider that even though the working relationship hasn't been too smooth, sometimes there are some people who are worth keeping on, and then trying to educate them and trying to polish out the rough edges because they're going to be an asset to the business over the long term. And this is why. Because in the business, not everybody has an appreciation of the fact that we all have to sell, and that selling is the most important thing that we do. Because I've said time and time on the podcast that nothing happens until a sale is made. If you guys don't make sales, you can't pay salaries. If you guys don't make sales, you can't pay school fees. If you don't make sales, you can't buy fuel, you can't buy computers, you can't buy cameras, you can't go to wedding expos, whatever it is that you need to do. You can't, nothing is going to get done until a sale is made. So, excuse me. Now, not all our staff members or our contractors realize this, that selling should be a team effort. And so, sales, selling, marketing shouldn't just be relegated to the top dog, the person whose name is on the business. So, if you're Kemi Adegunjo, Wedding Planners, NLC, or whatever, not all our staff members don't realize that selling and marketing shouldn't just be left to Kemi alone, because if we're all selling and pulling our effort together, then the share of the cake, or no, rather, what's it called? The share of the pie. Okay, yeah, the pie. I think that's the metaphor that people usually use. Although in Nigeria we talk of the national cake. So the bigger the cake gets, the bigger the pie gets, and the more that we have to share amongst ourselves. That's if you run that kind of outfit, giving people, excuse me. So that's if you run your business that way, giving people extra commissions, giving them bonuses, giving things like that just to encourage people. So, it's hard enough running a business where people fail to appreciate the importance of sales, selling, and marketing. Now, the thing is, there are a couple of us who have staff members, partners, and associates who are supposed to be responsible for marketing. Like my video guy who has some of the core members that he has engaged precisely for that purpose, so that they can go out, do marketing, make proposals, presentations, stuff like that. Because he does a lot of corporate work and work with ministries and parastatals. So, even for those folks who have been engaged for the express purpose of marketing and selling, even those people don't want to sell. They don't want to go out, they don't want to talk to people, things like that. So, given that these are the challenges that a lot of us face when it comes to sales and marketing, promoting ourselves, promoting our businesses, it is a rare thing when we come across someone who, even though he's a member of our team and his role or her role is not a sales or marketing or outward facing one, it's a rare thing when we have that person who makes it their duty or who makes it their duty to sell, or who just likes the game of selling and bringing people in through the door. And I think that these are the kind of employees, associates, subcontractors, um, whatever it is that you want to call them. These are the sorts of people that we ought to keep within the business, because they can be an asset. Now, there are going to be some times, like I said, that there's going to be conflict and you feel like you have to let somebody go for different reasons, whether it's timekeeping, dress, what else, failure to follow company policies and protocols, things like that. But I think that when you have one of these rare people who happens to be in the offending camp, I mean, depending on how big the offense is, I really think that these are the people who are worth keeping, and they can add value to your business over the long term. Assuming you can keep them on board, you guys can reconcile, and you can help polish them up so that they can fit into the molds, the work processes, and the brand that you're trying to establish with your company. Now, this is the reason why I think so. A friend of mine who does my fulfilling, so my photo books, my frames, anything that needs to be done, I make it through his business. He had a member of staff that had been with him for a while. They both worked together at another company. When that one closed, they moved over, and so they've been together for a while. And this other guy, let's just call him Femi, he's really good and he's real personable, lots of conversations, things like that, with all the other photographers who come through the door, and with clients. And I noticed that he has the gift of gab, and he's always trying to push, promote, pull people in, keep them within the system. And I think that he's a really valuable asset, because people like that, you don't have lots of folks like that within your business. I'm sure those of you listening to me right now can attest to that. That let's say you have a team of 5, I doubt you have one person who meets the bill that I have just spoken about right now. Now, this person is not an owner in the company. He's not a part owner. He's not your family member. He's not your spouse. You guys are not in a relationship, whatever it is. But this person, this guy or this girl, just likes selling, likes promoting, and they keep trying to bring people in through the door. They keep in touch. How far? What's up? What are you guys up to? We haven't seen you in a while. These are the new products that we have. Things like that. Now, since I've been on the receiving end of this guy's, I can't remember the name I came up with. Okay, let's just call him Femi. So since I've been on the receiving end of Femi's entreaties, I know what a valuable staff member that he is, because I was able to know about this current business that I'm doing, this current outfit that I'm doing business with for my fulfillment for albums and everything, precisely because each time Femi has to move, he says, he reaches out and says, hey, what's up? This is where I am now. Why don't you come check us out, blah, 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 and things like that. So that's how I got to know about this outfit. And when I got there and I saw lots of the usual faces, that's from the old business over there, it kind of made sense. I just knew that, Femi was the one that was responsible for bringing these people in. Now, I know that Femi and the owner, they had some issues. I think it had to do with timekeeping and things like that, because Femi happened to be going through a rough period at home, and he needed some flexible, he needed some accommodations made, time-wise, so that he could deal with stuff on the home front, and he was very open about that. But I also understand from the business owner's perspective that, look, I'm running a tight ship here. I can't make exceptions for you, because then I have to start making exceptions for people, stuff like that, and then they let him go. And of course, I told business owner that, look, I think this guy is your prime staff. Yes, his job is design, and it's nice. It would be nice for all your designers to be here at 7:30 sharp or at 8:30 sharp, because you have a business to run, and photographers rely on that kind of service, for design people and editing people to show up on time and get the work done. But I tried to say that Femi's chief value was not just in the fact that he's a designer. It's his people skills and his sales skills. He's always reaching out, being proactive to photographers. Hey, what's up? We haven't seen you guys in a while. What was the problem? Oh, was this the issue that you had? No problem. Come on in. Let's have a conversation. We can sort this out. I'll call Oga Kunle. We'll sit down. I'm sure we can resolve this. And so he's been responsible for doing stuff like that. Like in my own case, reaching out to me. What's up? How you doing? We're no longer at this address anymore. This is where we're at. And we have these new kinds of books. We have these new kinds of frames. So why don't you come in and have a look? So he's really good at doing these sorts of things. So my argument at the time was, yes, you guys are having this issue right now around timing and things like that. And I understand as a business owner, you have to set fair standards that apply to everyone. But this guy's chief value is not the fact that he knows how to do high frequency retouching and that he knows how to do album design and that he knows the right aspect ratios for frames or how video should be edited and stuff like that. He's bringing immense value to the business outside of the core technical thing that you've hired him for. Now, of course, that's what I told the owner, left it at that, and I didn't think much of anything. Of course, needless to say, they never reconciled, and so Kunle and Femi, not their real names, have parted ways. But then I remembered this and decided to make this podcast recording because, as usual, I received a WhatsApp message and another conversation ensued, and the format was the same. Hey, boss, what's up? How you did? Sorry I've not been in touch. Things were a little rough, but I found my footing. This is where I am. I think they're a really cool outfit. They have nice stuff. Why don't you stop by? Let's have a look. I'll talk to management. Let's see if we can work out something special for you. Like how you like doing your stuff. And that's the outreach. And that's the chief benefit of having folks like Femi on board, because it just seems to be in their blood. Not everybody likes selling or promoting. And so I think when you have a diamond like that, a part of your team, I think you should see what you can do, see how you can reconcile the differences, keep the person on board, because they're going to derive more value to you over the long term. So I've seen this dude, Femi, not his real name, do this across 3 or 4 businesses right now. And if you happen to have someone like that, I really think you should consider try and see how you can keep the person on the team, this guy or this girl, because these folks, they're rare. And the people that you're going to be paying to do your sales, to do your marketing, whether it's running Instagram ads and things like that, they're not going to be as good as evangelists as folks like this Femi guy is. And so, so that's what inspired me to make today's recording. He's moved. He's in a new outfit. He's reached out to me. I don't think I'm going to move because I'm comfortable with the old business now, and I'm not trying to change anything, look for new suppliers anytime soon. So I'm going to remain where I am. But best believe, now this is the attitude that Femi is also going to carry to this new business, and he's also going to be reaching out to other photographers that he's done work with in the past and videographers to say, "What's up? How you guys been? Yep, I've been out because of so difficulties, but I'm back in Abuja, and this is where I am now. And why don't you come on by? Let's see what we can do to you. Because you're a correct guy. I value your business, and why don't you just come along? Let me see how I can help you sort you out now that I'm in a new place. That sort of conversation, and that's the guy's attitude. And I think he's going to be really stellar if he gets any sales training, because even these things that he does, you can tell that it's just maybe something he has observed from his folks back at home or something. Maybe he learned it from his dad, because I think his father was self-employed. He's late now. So maybe he learned from his dad or from his dad's associates. I don't think he has received formalized training. So if this is what he's doing right now with no training, imagine if this kind of person is a member of your team. You keep the person on board, you smooth out the rough edges. If it's the dressing, you tell him, look, Femi, we can't be dressing like this. This is what I'm trying to project. If it's the time thing, maybe you're able to come up with something flexible, like, okay, I understand that this and this is what's going on at home. How much time do you think you need to resolve? Okay, 3 months. Okay, no problem. For the next 3 months, you don't have to come in at 7:30. You can come in at 10 a.m., but instead of leaving at 5, you can leave at 6. There are ways that you can work these things out. I'm not going to try and determine how it is that you should run your business when you're having issues with members of staff, but I am saying that not everybody sells with enthusiasm, and not everybody is going to want to pick up the mantle of sales and marketing. So when you have someone who seems to be doing it already easily, without you paying them extra, without you trying to incentivize them, I really think you should keep them on board. Maybe even think about how you can incentivize the person to come along for the ride. So, that's it for today's recording. I'll catch you guys at the next episode. Thank you very much for your time and attention.